So, today I have gone through a lot for me to record this video because nothing seems to work, and I'm having one of my worst days in terms of technical errors. And there were a few lightning errors, and you know, few hardware errors, a few short software errors as well. But I finally managed to make it work somehow. So, without further ado, we are going to jump right into it. So, in the previous chapters, we have read that Moderate uh, became corrupted in his attempt to achieve apostasis, and then he finally let Kind Red kill him and become whole again. And then Cassie was attempting to flee Asterion, and in when attempting her escape, she one-sidedly beat Saint Cor, the oldest saint alive. And now Asterion was face to face with Cassie, and that's how it ended. So we are going to read today chapter 2966 called Tainted Heavens. Let's get to it. Forgetting about Score, Cassie paled and backed away. Let me increase the music if so for you to listen. Holding her dagger between herself and the dream spawn, as if a dagger was going to help her. Asterion soldiers entered the workshop behind him, crowded at the end of the stairs. However, following his mental command, they all stayed back, giving him and Cassie space to talk. What now? Through swarmed thoughts swarmed feverishly in her mind. Cassie took another tentative step towards the stairs leading to the fourth floor of the Ebony Tower, licked the blood off her lips, and asked in a hoarse voice, "There is a whole supreme somewhere out there for you to deal with, and yet you are following a mere saint." "I am flattered. Of course, I really am. But to what do I owe the honor?" Asterion looked a little bit worse for wear. His clothes ragged and torn, his face too was paler than usual. It seemed that transversing nothingness and battling the beings who dwelled within it had not been an effortless feat, even for him. But overall, he seemed perfectly fine. More than fine to destroy Cassie in the blink of an eye, at least. Taking a deep breath, Asterion looked around and shrugged. "How do I put it? I have already defeated Mordred countless times before. I can defeat him again, no matter what he does. He is a known variable. The other two wielders of divine aspect, however, are a mystery. Well, I doubt they will be able to do anything. But at this point, my tolerance for uncertainty has worn quite thin. And you, young lady, Song of the Fallen, hold the key to find out what they are up to." He smiled. "I have a bad feeling about you as well. I had it for a long while. Actually, it takes a lot to make me feel that way, you know. So you should be proud of your accomplishments, young lady." Cassie took another tentative step back. "I don't know where they are. I Astera interrupted her in a relaxed tone. "Erased your own memories? I know, but I am sure there are a few clues left in that eerie head of yours, and I intend to find them, even if I have to crack it open to have a good look." He studied her for a moment, then added, "Also, you made a mistake. You called Moderate supreme, but he is nothing but a great beast now, is he?" Cassie shivered. She knew that Asterion was only humoring her with a conversation in order to give his powers enough time to crawl into her mind and subjugate it, but What else could she do? If she tried to run, he would simply catch her. He would break her legs or cut her tendons in order to have a nice chat without anything getting in the way. So she said, "It was you, wasn't it? You did something. You planted something into his mind. That was why he failed his apostasis and succumbed to the corruption." Asturion laughed. "Me, oh my, you are giving me too much credit." He shook his head. "I had nothing to do with his failure. It had already been preordained. He simply never stood a chance." The arrogance of youth. The boy should not have attempted apostasis without learning all its secrets first. So yes, Cassie frowned. "What do you mean?" Aston shrugged. "What do you think apostasis is, young lady?" He studied her for a moment and then explained in a friendly tone. "Apostasis is the process of ascending to godhood. More precisely, it is the process of becoming a spirit. But what are spirits? What differentiates them? What differentiates all gods from mortals?" He paused briefly before continuing. "It might be easier to understand if you limit the scope of the comparison. What differentiates spirits from sovereigns? A transcendent soul expands beyond the confines of their mortal shell. A supreme soul draws on their source element and grows to encompass a domain. A spirit, meanwhile, a spirit is an embodiment of their source element. They are beings whose souls encompass an entire realm, fusing with the laws that govern it. A divine being. Meanwhile, a true God is someone whose essence encompasses all of existence, woven into the universal laws that rule it." Asterion looked at Cassie and smiled. "Do you see the problem here, young lady?" He shook his head. "Mordred failed to achieve natural apostasis because that is the fate awaiting all of you, children of war. Realm, children of war realm, if you dare to try. This is because your own realm denies your existence. So you are left with no doubt but to attempt it here, in the dream realm. But what do you think will happen to someone who tries to fuse their soul with the laws of the realm of corruption?" "That is interesting. I never thought it that way." Astarion scoffed. He wasn't ready to become a god. He wasn't even ready to understand the darkness nestled between the roots of this cursed realm. So, as much as I like to take credit, the fault is all his. The failure is all his as well, even if it was inevitable. That's crazy to hear, man. That's crazy. To become a spirit, you have to encompass the whole world, the whole realm, single realm. And I think Eurus had said the same thing, but it's the first time I'm hearing about it. But if we think carefully, it's correct, as the dream realm is the realm of forgotten god, and the forgotten god is the source of all corruption. So I think the dream realm is the realm of corruption, and the war realm denies their own existence, so they can't in war realm they can't in so and this and all the other realms are destroyed except the shadow realm. So maybe Sunny could go to the shadow realm and attempt apostasis. Maybe because shadow realm was made for the sole purpose of erasing corruption, I think. Let's read forward. Cassie took another step back, almost reaching the stairs, and raised her chin slightly. "Are you planning to do the same? Won't you end up just like Mordred did?" Estilon laughed. "Unlike all of you, I was born in the dream realm. I belong to this world. I saw its darkness already and emerged unscratched on the other side. I am a dream spawn after all. The nightmare you all fear so much was my cradle. Looking behind Cassie, he paused for a moment and then sighed. Now it's time to see what is hidden inside your head, young Luke. Oh, and I made a promise to you, didn't I? I promised to take your second eye as well. I think I will fulfill that promise first. It wouldn't do for the ruler of humanity to become a liar, would it? Looking at the hollow-eyed figure of Saint Cor, the soldiers grasped their weapons tighter. Asterion threw an indifferent gaze at the one standing closest to him and then said evenly, "Restrain her." The command echoed in the workshop that once belonged to the demon of choice, making Cassie flinch. Sick bastard. Asterion could have restrained her himself, but he chose to send an awakened soldier forward instead. It was a psychological attack meant to weaken her mind, without doubt. After all, the soldiers could not defy the command, and Cassie had no choice but to defend herself. Killing another innocent human was going to weigh on her, and that would shake her mental defenses, even if only a little. She steeled herself for the inevitable. But to her surprise, the awakened soldier did not move. What? Rain? Did Rain come and help Cassie? But even if Rain comes, how is he going to save them in front of the rainstorm? Asterion seemed surprised, turning to look at the man with interest. It was only when the soldier spoke that Cassie finally recognized him. Trembling as if under an immense strain, the man Euthra met the inquisition gaze of Asterion's golden eyes, scowled stubbornly, and then said in a shaking voice, "No. Euthra isn't awakened, and he is denying a sovereign's might, man. He has some courage." His legs buckled and he would have fallen if not for the two soldiers near him, a man and a woman who caught and supported him. The three of them faced Dreamstorm united in quiet defiance. Asterion studied Yuta intently, then smiled, curious. Cassie meanwhile could not help but let out a short, desperate laugh. She took one last step back, reaching the stairs, and said in a scornful tone, "It seems that even your power is not absolute, Dreamspawn." There were those who had fallen to the plague of Styrian and those who had not. A very small number of them, however, Cassie had never witnessed someone who refused Dreams Asterian's command after succumbing to the plague. It seemed that such a feat wasn't impossible, though and that there was hope in that somewhere. Cassie just didn't have time to find it. Asterion studied the trembling figure of Luthor for a while longer, then turned away and headed across the hall. Power. Do you want to witness power? Song of the Fallen. Reaching the motionless figure of wake of ruin, he paused for a moment and looked down. After observing the hollow scene, Asterion asked quietly, "You aren't going to be of much use to me, are you?" Then he said in a calm tone, "Then die." And hearing his command, the empty shell of wake of ruin crumbled like a broken doll. Life drained from his empty eyes, and he fell to the floor motionlessly. Saint Cor, one of the few remaining champions of first generation, was dead. Asterion shifted his terrifying gaze back to Cassie and smiled. "This is power." My sword, man. Asterion is a bad person, and Saint Cor, the OG saint of the government of the first generation, even died. Rest in peace, Saint Cor. It's a big chapter, it's still going. He took a step forward. "Are you satisfied with my demonstration?" Cassie stuttered with her entire body, froze for a moment, then turned around and ran. Asterion chuckled, caught up with her like a terrifying whisper. "Where are you going, Song of the Fallen? There is nowhere to run." Cassie knew it. She knew that it was pointless. But she still couldn't help herself from trying to run away. A bestial panic flooded her mind, and all she could think about was getting away from the terrifying man. So she ran and ran and ran, only stopped on the penultimate, penultimate what the hell is this? Penultimate floor of the Ebony Tower in the Hall of Forbidden Ruins, because Rain and Smile of Heaven were on the last level, and no matter how desperate and frightened she was, she couldn't lead Asturion to them. Turning to face the stairs, she slowly backed away, Soon enough, Asterion emerged from darkness and looked at her with a ruthless finality hidden in his eyes. It's over. There is no point in struggling anymore. Song of the Fallen. Won't it be easier to simply give up? Cassie felt that he was right. Giving up would certainly be simpler, easier, and far less painful. It would be comfortable even, soothing, and full of solace. But solace, solace was a sin. So even if there was no hope of winning, she raised her dagger instead of giving up. And that concludes this chapter, guys. That was a fantastic chapter, man. It was quite big too. Let's see how many words it was. Yeah, it was 1700 words almost, and it took us 15 minutes to read, and last few chapters took us 10 minutes because they were around 1,000 words. It was a very fantastic chapter, man. Cassie fighting Esterion, and Saint Cor died. Sad. Jet, I think Jet looked up to Saint Cor, but now Saint Cor is dead. And moderate Asterion, man, Asterion doesn't even consider moderate a threat at all. He said that moderate was a known variable, like he's dealing with a child. And Cassie, what is she going to do? Cassie, what is Cassie going to do? Because I know she is going to do something that will help her attain natural supremacy. That is for certain. I am certain in that. That is my theory, and I am not backing down on it. But I don't know what is she is going to do and how she is going to do it, man. It's next level, man. Next level. Okay, so that's it for the video. If you like what you see, if you like this content, like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you can get more of these content. And I will react to other series as well, like Lord of Mysteries and new web novels. I will also start new web novels very soon, so subscribe so you can see that. And let me remind you again, after 100 subs I will live stream these reaction videos, so there we can chat, chill, and react to any of the stuff you request. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.